Hello students, welcome back. Today onwards we are going to discuss about objectives from sexual reproduction in angiosperms. Let's start page number 40 in your objective book. Exercise level 1. Question number 1. Germination is epigeal in options Giamese, Elianthus, Mangifera, Pisum. These are the four options given here. So the question I am again repeat once again. Germination is epigeal in. So what is meant by epigeal germination? So epigeal germination, germination of a plant takes place above the ground is called epigeal germination. If germination takes place below the ground, it is called as hypogeal germination. So here it is clear that germination is of two types: epigeal germination, hypogeal germination. Epigeal germination means germination of a plant takes place above the ground. Hypogeal germination means germination of a plant takes place below the ground. So as per question, there are four plants are given here, that is Giamese, Elianthus, Mangifera, Pisum. In these four options, Giamese, Mangifera, Pisum are the examples of hypogeal germination. That means in these plants, germination it takes place below the ground. So then epigeal germination we can observe in Helianthus. So then answer is option 2, that is Helianthus. Question number 2. Development of microsporangium in angiosperms and gymnosperms is of. I am repeating again. Development of microsporangium in angiosperms and gymnosperms is of. Options: option 1 eusporangiate, option 2 leptosporangiate, option 3 monosporic type, option 4 tetrasporic type. Let's see what are these terms. Eusporangiate type: microsporangium develops from a group of cells is called eusporangiate type. Leptosporangiate type: microsporangium develops from a single cell is called leptosporangiate. Monosporic type: development of embryo sac from a single megaspore is called monosporic. Tetrasporic type: development of embryo sac from all four megaspores is called tetrasporic type. So in these four options, eusporangiate and leptosporangiate represents the development of microsporangium. Monosporic and tetrasporic type, these two represent the development of embryo sac. So that's why as per question we need to consider development of microsporangium. That means monosporic and tetrasporic not comes under our options. So now let's see either eusporangiate or leptosporangiate. Which one is the correct answer? So gymnosperms and angiosperms, the development of microsporangium is eusporangiate, that means develops from a group of cells. So the correct answer is option 1, eusporangiate. Question number 3. After removal of covering, the pea seeds consists of. I am repeating again. After removal of covering, the pea seed consists of options 1. Cotyledons, 2. Embryo, 3. Cotyledons plus endosperm, 4. Cotyledons plus endosperm plus pericarp. Now let's see. Covering is nothing but seed coat. So the question is after removal of covering. That means after removing of seed coat, what is present in that pea seed? Now pea seed is an example for which type of seed? Pea seed is a non-endospermic. That means the endosperm is utilized before germination of the seed. So that means already seed coat is removed and it is non-endospermic. Endosperm is completely utilized before seed germination. So seed coat is removed, endosperm is not present. Then what is present in that pea seed? So the pea seed consists only embryo. That means answer is 2. Question number 4. Site of sexual reproduction in angiosperms is, I am repeating again, site of sexual reproduction in angiosperms or flowering plants is options 1. Strobili or cones, 2. Antheridium, 3. Flower, 4. Archegonium. Everyone knows answer very easily. So let's see the option information. First option, strobilus or strobili or cones. So structure consisting of sporangia, bearing structures densely aggregated along a stem. Strobili are often called cones and they are found in conifers. Antheridium. It is a male sex organ of non-flowering plants like algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, etc. Archegonium, female sex organ of non-flowering plants. So now as per question, the sexual reproductive part in angiosperms is flower. Answer is 3. Question number 5. The title Alexander Agassiz, Professor of Zoology Emeritus, goes to, I am repeating, the title Alexander Agassiz, Professor of Zoology Emeritus, goes to options P. Maheshwari, R. Mishra, E. Mayer, G.N. Ramchandran. So let's know about these scientists. P. Maheshwari, full form Panchanan Maheshwari. He was a prominent Indian botanist. He invented the technique of in vitro fertilization of angiosperms. R. Mishra, Ramdev Mishra. He considered as father of Indian ecology. G.N. Ramchandran, full name Gopal Samudram Narayanan Ramchandran. He was an Indian physicist. He was the first to propose a triple helical model for the structure of collagen. Collagen is a muscle protein. E. Mayer. He joined Harvard Faculty of Arts and Sciences in 1953 and retired in 1975, assuming the title Alexander Agassiz Professor of Zoology Emeritus. So emeritus faculty means the faculty continue to teach and do research, but they are technically retired. So answer is 3, E. Mayer. Question number 6. Maize is, I am repeating again, maize is options 1. Clistogamous, 2. Anemophilous, 3. Entomophilous, 4. Hydrophilous. Let's know about these terms. Clistogamous, flowers whose male and female reproductive parts are not exposed. Such flowers are called as clistogamous flowers. In these flowers, only autogamy takes place. Anemophilous, pollination by wind is called anemophilous. Such flowers are called as anemophilous flowers. Entomophilous, pollination by insects is called entomophilous. Such flowers are called entomophilous flowers. Hydrophilous, pollination by water is called hydrophilous. Such flowers are called hydrophilous flowers. As per question, maize is, that means maize flowers are pollinated by which of the following method? So in maize, pollination is done through wind. Hence, the answer is option 2, anemophilous. Question number 7. Which are endospermic in nature? So in this question, diagrams are given. Among the diagrams, which are endospermic in nature? For that, we need to know about endospermic. Endospermic means seeds are those that have an endosperm in the mature seeds. So here the diagrams are maize. It is a monocot endospermic, that is first option in your question. And second option, dicot non-endospermic diagram. Third option is coconut. It belongs to monocot endospermic. So the question is, which are endospermic in nature among the three diagrams? Already we are specified. Maize is endospermic, coconut is endospermic. That means answer is option 4. Both maize and coconut are endospermic. Page number 41, question number 8. Heaping of soil around the base of stem in potato is meant for. I am repeating again. Heaping of soil around the base of stem in potato is meant for. Options: 1. Preventing exposure of roots. 2. Providing extra support to delicate stem. 3. Inducing development of more axillary buds. 4. Making more water available. So let's see the meaning of heaping. Heap means put. That means, as per this meaning, the question is like this: putting of soil around the base of stem in potato is meant for. So keeping more soil around the stem is helpful for development of more axillary shoots in potato, because potato is a modified stem. Hence, the answer is option 3, inducing development of more axillary shoots. Question number 9. Entry of pollen tube through the end opposite to micropyle is. I am repeating. Entry of pollen tube through the end opposite to micropyle is called. Options: 1. Porogamy. 2. Chalajogamy. 3. Mesogamy. 4. Syngamy. Let's know about these terms. Porogamy: entrance of pollen tube through the micropyle. Chalajogamy: entrance of pollen tube through the chalaja. Mesogamy: entrance of pollen tube through the integument. Syngamy: fusion of gametes is called syngamy. These are the information about these options. Let's see the diagram. So here the apical portion, this region is called micropyle, and basal part of ovule is called chalaja. Now what is given in the question? The entry of pollen tube through the end opposite to micropyle. The end opposite to micropyle is chalaja. That means what we will call, if pollen tube enters through chalaja, then you may know the answer clearly. If pollen tube enters through chalaja, it is called chalajogamy. Hence, the answer is option 2, chalajogamy. Question number 10. Pollen kit is formed from. I'm repeating. Pollen kit is formed from options 1. Endothecium, 2. Middle layers, 3. Microspore mother cell, 4. Tapetum. So let's see the functions of these terms. Endothecium. It helps in anther dehiscence, breaking of anther after maturity to release pollen grains. Middle layers helps to store starch. Microspore mother cell undergo meiosis to form microspores or pollen grains. Tapetum produces pollen kit of entomophilous pollen grains. Entomophilous pollination by insects. So pollen kit, it is a sticky substance made up of lipids on the surface of axine, helpful to stick on to the body of insects. That pollen kit is produced by tapetum. Hence, the answer is option 4, tapetum. Students, check your options, answers at the end. In this book, 10th question option in level 1 is given. Option 2 is a answer. That means middle layers. It is not correct. Please rectify that. The option is 4. 4 is the correct answer for this question 10. Question number 11. Thread-like pollen grains without axine are found in. I am repeating again. Thread-like pollen without axine are found in options 1. Hydrophily, 2. Entomophily, 3. Anemophily, 4. Chiropterophily. Let's know the meaning of these terms. Hydrophily, pollination by water. Such flowers are called hydrophilous flowers. Entomophily, pollination by insects. Such flowers are called entomophilous flowers. Anemophily, pollinated by wind. Such flowers are called anemophilous flowers. Chiropterophily, pollination by bats. Such flowers are called Chiropterophilous flowers. So as per question, we need to find which of these flowers are produces thread-like pollen grains without axine. So in theory part, you are already noted the points regarding characteristic features of hydrophilous flowers, entomophilous flowers, anemophilous flowers, chiropterophilous flowers. So as per that points, the answer for this question is option 1, hydrophily. In these hydrophilous flowers, pollen grains are ribbon-like, that is thread-like. Axine is absent and pollen grains are surrounded by mucus to prevent wetting. Question number 12. Which one does not exhibit seed dormancy? I am repeating again. Which one does not exhibit seed dormancy? Options: 1. Phaseolus, 2. Rhizopora, 3. Cassia, 4. Xanthium. So let's know the definition of seed dormancy. Seed dormancy is a resting state in which the metabolic activity of the seed is greatly reduced. That means it is inactive. That condition is called seed dormancy. Among these four options, Phaseolus, Rhizopora, Cassia and Xanthium. Among these four options, Phaseolus, Cassia and Xanthium exhibit seed dormancy. So the answer is option 2. Rhizopora does not exhibit seed dormancy. Question number 13. Night blooming flowers are generally, I am repeating, night blooming flowers are generally. Options: 1. Lightweight, 2. Scented, 3. Brightly colored, 4. Bloom in clusters. So this question is also belongs to the pollinating agents. Generally, the night blooming flowers we can found in Caryopterophilus flowers. That means flowers pollinated by bats or bloom during night. Now, what are the characteristics of these flowers? These Caryopterophilus flowers are pale or white in color. They are very fragrant, scented, a fermenting or fruit-like odor. That scent smell will appear either fermenting or maybe fruit-like smell. Based on these points, for this question, answer is option 2, scented or fragrant. Question number 14. How many types of cells are present in an embryo sac? I am repeating again. How many types of cells are present in an embryo sac? Options: 1. 7, 2. 8, 3. 4, 4. 5. I am repeating options again. Option 1, 7. Option 2, 8. Option 3, 4. Option 4, 5. Let's see the types of cells present in an embryo sac. Antipodal cells, type 1. Central cell, second type. Egg cell, third type. Synergies, fourth type. That means embryo sac consists four types of cells. Hence, answer is option 3, 4. You may have doubt that embryo sac having 7 cells and 8 nucleated. Yes, 7 cells. Antipodals are 3, central cell 1, egg cell 1, synergist 2. Total 7 cells. But here in this question they are asking types of cells. There are 4 different types of cells present in embryo sac. Their number is 7. Question number 15. Ovule is, I am repeating, ovule is options 1. Microsporangium, 2. Megasporophyll, 3. Integumented megasporangium, 4. Rolled megasporophyll. Let's know about these options. Microsporangium is belongs to male reproductive organ. That means it is present in the anther. This microsporangium produces microspores. Megasporophyll is represents the carpel. It is a part of or unit of gynoecium or pistil. Stigma, style and ovary together called carpel. Ovule is integumented indehiscent megasporangium of angiosperms. In angiosperms, the megasporophyll is rolled to produce a carpel. Then the answer is option 3. Ovule is integumented megasporangium. Question number 16. Match the columns 1 and 2. So in this column 1 and column 2 correct matching words. Corn. The flowers of this corn is pollinated by wind pollination or anemophily. Viola. It is also known as violets or pansies. Common pansy it is, and it is a poisonous. Hydrilla. It is a hydrophyte, and in this pollination is occurs through water pollination or hydrophily. Zostera. It is also a hydrophyte, and in this also pollination by water, but this Zostera is commonly called as marine seagrass. Then the answer is option 3, in that A, corn is matches with 3 in column 2, that is wind pollination, and in column B, viola, it is matches with common pansy, that is 4 in column 2. C in column 1, hydrilla, it matches with water pollination in column 2. Zostera D in column 1, it matches to marine seagrass in column 2. Question number 17. Rearrange the following events of sexual reproduction in the sequence in which they occur in a flowering plant. I am repeating again. Rearrange the following events of sexual reproduction in the sequence in which they occur in flowering plants. The events are: A. Pollination, B. Embryogenesis, C. Gametogenesis, D. Fertilization. So these terms we need to arrange in a sequence the events of sexual reproduction. So now let's see the sequence of events of sexual reproduction in a flowering plants are: first one, gametogenesis, formation of gametes, male and female gametes. Generally, male gametes are transferred from anther to stigma. So next sequence of event is: after formation of gametes, the gametes need to transfer. So that process is called pollination. So after pollination, the gametes lead to fusion. That process is called fertilization. After fertilization, zygote forms and it further develops into embryo. So after fertilization, the embryogenesis will takes place. So this is the order of events of sexual reproduction in a flowering plant. So first gametogenesis, next pollination, next fertilization, and then embryogenesis. As per this order, the answer is option 3, that is C, gametogenesis, A, pollination, D, fertilization, B, embryogenesis. Question number 18. Formation of embryo directly from nucellus and integuments is known as, I am repeating again, formation of embryo directly from nucellus and integuments is known as options: 1. Adventitive polyembryony, 2. Apospory, 3. Apogamy, 4. Apomixis. Let's know the terms. Adventitive polyembryony, formation of embryo directly from nucellus and integument, is called adventitive polyembryony. Apospory, the development of diploid gametophytes without meiosis and spores from vegetative or non-reproductive cells of the sporophyte, is called apospory. Apogamy, development of haploid sporophytes without gametes and syngamy from vegetative cells of the gametophyte, is called apogamy. Apomixis. Seeds are formed without fertilization is called apomixis. So whatever the options given here, all are definitions. So now as per the definition given here, the answer is first option, Ad22 polyembryony. Question number 19. What is correct in the given options? Option 1. Albinism is genetic and etiolation is physiological. Option 2. Etiolation is genetic and albinism is physiological. Option 3. Etiolation is irreversible. Option 4. Etiolation and albinism are synonyms. So to know the answer, first of all, we need to know about albinism and etiolation. Albinism, a congenital disorder characterized in humans by the complete or partial absence of pigment in the skin, hair, and eyes. So albinism is a genetic disorder, congenital genetic disorder. It is due to the complete or partial absence of pigment, melanin, in the skin, hair, and eyes. You may observe this albinism people, they appear complete whites due to absence of melanin pigment. Etiolation. It is a process in flowering plants growing in partial or complete absence of light. Etiolation is the result of hormones called auxins in the plants. And etiolation is reversible. So, in these statements, albinism and etiolation. Albinism is belongs to animal kingdom and etiolation is belongs to plants. So albinism is a genetic disorder and etiolation is a physiological process in the plant. Then the correct answer is option 1 and remaining statements are the wrong statements. Question number 20. Entry of pollen tube through chalaja end is called. I am repeating. Entry of pollen tube through chalajal end is called. Options. 1. Syngamy. 2. Porogamy. 3. Mesogamy. 4. Basigamy. Let's know the definition of these words. Syngamy, fusion of gametes. Porogamy, entrance of pollen tube through the micropyle. Mesogamy, entrance of the pollen tube through the integuments. Basigamy, entrance of pollen tube through the chalaja is called basigamy. Chalaja is a basal part of ovule. Hence, if the pollen tube enters into the ovule through chalaza is also called basigamy or chalazogamy. Then answer is option 4, basigamy. Question number 21. In 82% of angiosperm families, ovule is option 1, anatropous, 2, orthotropous, 3, amphitropous, 4, cercenotropous. Let's know some information about these terms. Anatropous. The body of ovule is completely inverted, turned at 180-degree angle. Orthotropous. It is also called as atropous. In this type of ovule, the micropyle, chalaza and funicle are in straight line. Amphitropous. In this type of ovule, the embryo sac become curved like horseshoe. Cercenotropous. In this type of ovule, body of ovule initially orthotropous straight line in position and again turn into anatropous 180-degree angle due to the growth of funicle. The growth continues till the ovule once again become orthotropous. As a result, funicle completely surrounds the body of the ovule. Based on this information, the answer is first option, anatropous. 82% of angiosperm families, ovule is anatropous type. Question number 22. A particular species of plant produces light, non-sticky pollen grain in large numbers and its stigmas are long and feathery. These modifications facilitate pollination in which of the following plants? Options: 1, maize, 2, hydrilla, 3, amorphophallus, 4, all of the above. Let's know about options. Maize. In maize, pollination is done by wind, anemophily. Hydrilla. Pollination is done by water, hydrophily. Amorphophallus. Pollination done by insects, entomophily. Now, in question, it is given a modifications in the flower to facilitate the pollination. The modifications are light in weight, non-sticky pollen grain, which are produced in large number, and its stigmas are long and feathery. These are the modifications. These modifications facilitate wind pollination. In wind pollinated flowers, pollen grains are produced in large number because of more wastage. Then answer is option 1, maize. Question number 23. The following figure represents. So in this 23rd question, the following figure or diagram is given. This diagram represents pollination by water in Vallisneria. That is answer option 1. Question number 24. During megasporogenesis, meiosis occurs in options 1. Endothecium, 2. Megaspore mother cells, 3. Megaspore, 4. Pollen grains. Let's know the ploidy of these terms. Endothecium, it is diploid in condition. Megaspore mother cells is also diploid in condition. Megaspore haploid in condition. Pollen grains or microspores are also in haploid condition. Now the question is, during megasporogenesis, meiosis occurs in. You may studied about cell division in first PUC. Meiosis division always occurs in diploid cells. Based on that point, megaspore and pollen grains are haploid and these two are not considered as options. Then answer either endothecium or maybe megaspore mother cell. Let's find. Endothecium, it is a layer of cells present immediately after epidermis in the microsporangium. This endothecium is a vegetative cell. And the meiosis is occurred during formation of gametes. So in these two, the gamete formation is occurs through megaspore mother cells. Then the answer is option 2. During megasporogenesis, megaspore mother cells undergo meiosis to form megaspores. Question number 25. The number of chromosomes in the shoot tip cells of an angiospermic plant is 10. The number of chromosomes in the microspore mother cells of the same plant shall be. I am repeating the question again. The number of chromosomes in the shoot tip cells of an angiospermic plant is 10. The number of chromosomes in the microspore mother cells of the same plant shall be options 1. 20, 2. 10, 3. 30, 4. 15. Let's know about the number of chromosomes in shoot tip cells is equal to 10. Shoot tip cells are vegetative cells and they are diploid condition. That means whatever the 10 number of chromosomes are given here are the diploid 2n. If it is a 1n, then it becomes 5. Now next, the number of chromosome in microspore mother cell is equal to how much? That is the question. Already in 24 question, we discussed microspore mother cell is in diploid condition 2n. So here shoot tip cells are also 2n is equal to 10. Then in the same plant, microspore mother cells are also consists 10 chromosomes. So answer is option 2, 10 chromosomes. If the same question, the number of chromosomes in megaspore, if they ask, then the number become 5 because megaspore is haploid 1n condition. 2n is equal to 10 chromosomes, then 1n is equal to 10 by 2, 5 chromosomes. Thank you, students. We will discuss 1 to 25 questions in this part, and we will continue the remaining bits in the next part.